How do we set up a Subaru Outback Wilderness for full-time work and full-time living? That's exactly what we're going to talk about in this video. What's going on, friends? Welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, thanks for stopping by. But my name is Rob Pelton, and on this channel I do a lot of really cool stuff outside. Today we're going to talk about how this Subaru Outback has been built out, how it's been outfitted to let road life happen. Now the work we do is remote, which means we are traveling the country and we are camping in this thing up to 200 nights a year. So this has to work, and it's got to kind of be nice and very, very efficient. And last year when we hit the road for the first time, I had it in my head the way this should be built out. So I built out our own shelving system. Now I'm not a woodworker or a carpenter, but the work I did, it worked really well. It actually had like plastic drawers, it had a shelf just like this, and we learned a lot about what we needed and what we didn't need from that build. A link to that video right up there, and I'll leave it linked in the description as well. But now fast forward to this year, we've really learned what we want, what we value, how things should be, and what did not work. And the two things that came into mind was, one was storage. We need a lot more storage just for stuff. And two, counter space. We were extremely limited on just counter space, especially if you're going to be cooking and things like that. That stuff is a premium. And right at the end of last year, as we were going home, I was researching these kinds of shelving system, and I came across two companies that seem to be doing a really, really good job. One is a company called Solid Woodworks. I reached out to them. They weren't interested in building anything for me, which was strange. The second was Compass Camper out of Bend, Oregon. I reached out to him, the owner, Anthony. If you're watching, what's up, man? I told him what I was looking for. He said, no problem. Let me know when you want it. And I had him build this out, and it was actually freight shipped to me at the warehouse. And in that well-packaged pallet is the new drawer system for road life for 2025. Let's unpack it. Mounting hardware and extra bits. Oh yeah. Nice. This thing is packaged crazy good.
New shelves for the new car?
Yeah. Here they are. It took a little while to get here, but it arrived safe and sound, and shipping to my location was not cheap. All right, get this in the car. Here's the general layout. You have the main shelf system with a big drawer here and a big drawer here. We have another attached drawer system right up here. So this was all one piece. Now over here, I took our refrigerator from ICECO, mounted the slide, and now we have refrigeration. And then to the right of that, we upgraded our battery bank. This is the EcoFlow Delta 3 Plus. This is much bigger than the battery bank we had last year, because this is not only going to power this for longer, but we can also charge all of our laptops and phones and iPads and anything on this, and this charges as we drive. And then on top of this upper drawer system, I installed a little shelf, and it's on slides, so this actually slides out as well. This is just loose pantry stuff. Bread, cookie, coffees, soup, that kind of thing. And I even installed running water. This is an electric water pump from Dometic. It connects to a 2.5 gallon jug just in front of it, and I'll show you that in a minute. But now we have on-demand water for all of our cooking and just drinking needs, and it's convenient, and we only have to pull out that jug every so often to refill it. So let's look at the actual drawer system. Anthony over at Compass Campers does amazingly good work. Its fit and finish is amazing. The drawer slides are awesome. And I had a couple of extras added, but look how long this drawer system is. And on top, he always includes these false tops, which is that counter space that we were so desperately needing. And then on this side, this is a flip up counter. And this is where we generally put our cooktop, plugs into a battery bank, and we're cooking up here. And in here we have stored spices, plates, tortillas, backpacking meals, just stuff that we need a spot for. The organization is amazing. And then on the false top side, more storage for food. These are actually like our meal ingredients. We got packages of rice, and chicken, ramen, mashed potatoes, these kinds of things. These are for our quick and dirty meals when we're on the road. And on the other side, the same size drawer as far as length goes. You got a false top in the back. And this is our cookware. This is our Cookpot that's made specifically for induction burners. We got our bowls, we got our wooden utensils in here for cooking, some Ziploc bags, things like that. And this fits in here perfectly well. And with this drawer, you got all the counter space, which we love so much. This one is actually a pull-out, so now we have additional length and all this storage underneath. And this is where we keep our induction cooktop. This one is made by Duckstop. It's worked really, really well. And of course, we have our kitchen knives, little washer things, and whatever little things you can kind of think to store in here. I have a little protective, like rubberized mat to go on top, just to help protect the cook surface a little bit. But then now you got all this organization and all this counter space. Now this upper drawer, more storage, and of course, more counter space. You got your false top here, these little holes, and this is where we keep just extra stuff. Like here's baggies, extra cups, we have Ziplocs in here, extra bottle caps for backpacking, just the extra little things that you need storage for. Next compartment, to-go containers, silverware, strainers, kitchen knives, measuring cups, these kinds of things, can opener. That's all goes right in here. And then on this side in the front, this is where we keep our induction kettle. Now this plugs right into our battery bank. We have water boiling in about a minute and a half. And of course we have our Apex Giant drip coffee maker along with some kettles, coffee mug, got a tablecloth in here. And on the very end, we have quick access items, like our toothpaste, toothbrush, little, washing dishes, implements, things like that. Just the little things that we need, that we can have quicker access to. It all stores safely right up front. And you can have all the drawers deployed at the same time if you want, just for all the counter space you could imagine. But these things can handle a lot of weight. The drawer slides, I think they're rated for a couple 100 pounds. So, no worries about putting water or dishes or cooking on here, none at all. Now, I wouldn't sit on it or stand on it or even break dance on it, but this is very sturdy and very, very well built. And to put everything away, you just got these two blue tabs. You simply push them both down and you can slide it. Easy as can be. It's worth mentioning that these drawers also have a couple of different lockout points. Like you can hear it, right? And then it locks here. It won't go back in until you release these, but it will come out until you hit it lock again, and you're good to go. I love it. And on the side of the shelf unit, there's these little nooks and crannies. We have one on this side and the other side. And we just found, we put like garbage pickers in here. We got trekking poles in here. We got sit pads, chairs. Just kind of small things you can slide on the sides. And I believe we have a couple cutting boards in here as well. So yeah, so just more places you can just kind of store stuff. I'll leave a link to Compass Camper in the description of this video. So if you reach out to Anthony, tell him Rob Pelton sent you. Now, it is important to note that I'm not sponsored by Compass Camper. They didn't send this to me for free. I bought all of this with my own money because I thought it was an investment worthwhile. Because not only is it going to make our everyday life for the next year way easier, but I'll be able to use this in my next Subaru as well. Let's talk about refrigeration. Ditch your ice coolers. Even if it's a Yeti, ice sucks to work with, especially in a long-term situation. Now, with an electric fridge like this ICECO JP40, this eliminates the hassle of ice. You don't have to worry about keeping things dry. You don't have that meat water on the bottom of your cooler that you have to drain every day. We eliminate all of that, and with an electric fridge, we can buy real food. We can buy chicken and beef and fruits and vegetables and dips and coffee creamers, everything, and keep it in here, and it is fresh just like your fridge at home. Now, last year I reached out to ICECO because I was sick of our regular cooler, and I asked them for a unit to review, and they were kind enough to do that. So we've been using this thing for what, about 8 months now, and we're going to use it for the rest of this year. And so far this thing is held up. It came with this insulated cover to keep things even more efficient. An electric fridge is absolutely the way to go. I have a discount code for ICECO. I'll leave that discount code in the description below of this video. So if you're looking for ICECO, you want to make the purchase, you may as well get a little bit of a discount. And then attached to the handles, I got rags for everyday life. I got a little fruit hammock, bananas and oranges, and actually ate the last oranges and bananas this morning. And then I also got the slide for it as well. This just allows everything to be much more efficient, smooth, and accessible. Let's dive into power sources. Last year we had an EcoFlow River. It was a smaller battery bank. It was 288 watt hours, and that was enough to keep our cooler running for about a day, maybe day and a half, depending on how hot it was outside. We also had a solar panel for that, but we did find that there were times where our fridge shut off because the battery ran out of power. So we upgraded this year, big time. Stayed with the EcoFlow. This is the Delta 3 Plus. It's 1,024 watt hours, so not only can it power the fridge for a few days, but we can charge our laptops and phones and iPads and just about anything from here. But more importantly, we can do induction cooking with this battery bank. The EcoFlow Delta 3 Plus is a very versatile power system. Not only is it bigger than what we had, but you have a lot of additional outlets right on the front here. You have the AC outlets, which is what we use for induction, or if you want to plug kind of any other normal appliance in here, that's what that's for. Has a row of USB ports, so if you want to charge your phones and iPads, that's what that's for. And these are all on their own switch. So if we want to use the AC ports, we turn the AC ports on. Want to use the USB ports, we turn the USB ports on. Now, you can turn all of it on and charge all things at the same time if you want to. But as this runs out of power, how do we charge this up? With this unit, I bought an alternator charger, which is this unit that sits right here. This particular unit, it's heavy. It actually runs all the way through the car and connects to the actual battery. So now when the car is running, the alternator charges the car battery, and then in turn it charges this whole unit. Now, there have been some issues with this alternator charger, and I will go over those in another video. But with all of this power, this whole battery bank can charge in like an hour. And when we're at a campsite that has electrical hookups, I can simply plug in an AC power cable to the back of the unit and plug this right into an AC outlet. Now we got continuous power running to the bank. I want to show you how it's all connected into the back of the battery unit. So I'll slide my counter space out. But when you pull this thing out, this is the 12 volt socket. This powers the refrigerator. This big cable right here, this is actually where the alternator charges into. Now this thing will charge this battery unit 800 watts, which is crazy fast for this kind of setup. And then this plug over here, this is what's attached to the extension cord that's running to that electrical outlet right over there. And then back here, you have solar panel inputs. It's all here, and you can control all of these outputs and inputs from an app on your phone. So I can monitor all this when I'm driving if I want to. Is all this the perfect setup? No. Would I always like more power? Of course. That's just, more power is good, right? But this is plenty for what we need. But like I said, there's been a little issue using the alternator charger on this full time, and I'll get into that in another video. Now behind the power bank we have some room, so I keep a case of Monster energy drinks because I'm crazy. But behind that we have another little shelf system. This is a 3-drawer tier system, and it holds like extra medical stuff, extra tools, and just things we don't necessarily need all the time, but we still need a space for them away from our food. Let's look at dressing rooms. It's the same setup as last year. But in here you got the 3-drawer system. You know, it's light, made out of plastic, and it's there basically just to hold my clothes. You know, socks, underwear, pants, shirts. I actually got a little hat organizer, some little crazy thing I found on Amazon. And when I drive, it hangs here, and then when I'm at camp and I need the room, I just hang it on my door. But down below I actually have a shoe rack, so I can fit a little bit more shoes. And then back here is the soft gooey center where we just stuff things like sleeping bags, pillows, toiletry kit, you know, stuff like that. One thing I'll show you is in the back of my side. This is where we keep the water jug. Got the little hose, so whenever we need to, ever so often, I just pull the water jug out of here, fill it up, it all gets plugged in. But yeah, it fits nice back here and it's safe. And then a couple little extras, just for more storage options. I found these little hanging cup holders. You know, it's got a little adhesive, it goes down into your windowsill. But this is where I keep like my mug and my can koozies and things that I don't necessarily need when I'm driving, because cup holders in a car when you're living is a premium as well. So this just keeps those things out of the way. And then down below, kind of a quick tip is get yourself a cup, whether it's metal or, I mean, it could be plastic, it's fine. Keep it in the cup holder in the door. Now you have a space to store extra things, odds and ends and gadgets, change, that kind of stuff. But up here is kind of like a shelf, you know, nail clippers, multi-tool. So all these little spaces are good for storing extra knickknacks. And Janelle has the same thing on her side. Just another quick tip about these drawer systems. So these are snug in the back seat, and the front seats are pushed all the way against them. So you'll find once you're driving, you got all the road vibration. There'll be a squeak where the seat material and the plastic shelves just kind of rub. So there's like this weird kind of dull squeak, and it's super annoying. So to fix that, I just grabbed my day pack. This is just an REI day pack. And I just wedged that between the seat and the shelf. That eliminates that squeak, and it also gives a really good and quick accessible place for my day pack. Pro tip. Is that a pro tip? I think that's a pro tip. Pro tip. Another cool, helpful tip for road life. Get yourself some window covers. These are just like cheap, like reflective bubble wrap kind of stuff. I think these are just generic on Amazon, like generic for Outbacks. But having window covers all the way around your windshield, side windows, back windows, even back windshield, is important for a couple of reasons. One, it hides what's inside the car, because a lot of times if someone's going to break into your car, it's a crime of opportunity. They see it, they can get it, whereas this just kind of hides the stuff that we have. And then secondarily, covering the windows keeps the interior of the car cool, is what you want. You don't want the things inside your car getting super heated, because you know there's like chapsticks and snacks and food, and it's just generally not a good idea to have the interior of the car warm, especially because you have a cooler in there as well. So get some car window covers, keep the inside cool, and to hide all your crap. Let's roll inside the car. Obviously I got the window shades in, but right here in the middle we carry a bear canister. Now the bear canister is for educational purpose when we're teaching, but we also keep it for road snacks as well. We got our chips and trail mixes and little candies in here, right? But then behind it we have another little drawer system, and we upgraded this for this year as well. We had the standard drawer system, but we found that we couldn't open the drawers, you know, without moving the seats forward. This is a little bit narrower. Now we can open all the drawers without having to adjust the seats. And then of course, more stuff to stuff places. Does that make sense? Does that make sense? That makes sense. And above our heads, we keep this like little netting system. So now we can just like stick certain things up here. A lot of times we'll roll up our window covers and just stash them back here. But if you had to, you can put tissues, you can put extra layers up here. It's just another storage area. But there's one more pro tip on the ceiling that you should know about. This is the sunroof. If you open up the sunroof, you can keep books. Here's an atlas, here's a book I'm reading. It's just another area to put these kinds of things without having to worry about keeping them flat or destroyed. A sunroof is a perfect place for atlas, books, papers, stuff. Oh, one more thing we keep up in the sunroof are these little things. What is it? I'll show you. Now, this cool little Amazon find is something we found very valuable because we're road trippers. We're driving 6, 7, 8 hours, a lot of the time in the same direction, and the sun is just blasting you from the side, right? So these are removable and movable static cling window shades. You just put them up on the window, smooth it out, and now you got shade. So now the passenger of the vehicle can work without getting blasted and just enjoy the road trip without getting just fried by the sun. And like I said, static cling, so there's no adhesive here to leave behind, and you can move it anywhere you need to get that desperately needed shade while you're driving. And then when we're not using them, they come 2 in a pack. We keep these right in the sunroof. I know I threw a lot of gadgets at you for road life, and if you're interested in any of them, I'll leave links to all those different things down in the description of this video. And some of those links are affiliate links, meaning if you shop with them, I'll earn a small commission that helps out the channel, but it doesn't change your shopping experience at all. So if you do that, thank you. As far as other things on the vehicle goes, we have the biggest Thule cargo box they make. This carries just a lot more stuff. A lot of it's like pop-up education and just educational materials, but we need the room, and this box is amazing for that. Then out here we have this big 8-foot awning by Thule. This is just our porch, so if we need shade from the sun or protection from the rain or something like this, we deploy this and it gives us a really nice, cool and dry area out to the side. So this is the garage, this is the porch. And on the driver's side, we have our bedroom. It is a rooftop tent. It's the Thule Tepui Foothills tent. That was kind of a mouthful, but I believe this is the only tent that's designed to fit on half of your roof rack, which is why we're able to have a rooftop tent and a cargo box. There's a lot of people who like to use this tent, but like put a bike on the other side or skis or anything like that. But it makes your rooftop real estate that much usable, in my opinion. And this thing has been amazing. Now, this tent is about 48 inches wide. So Janelle and I get about 24 inches of space. And that may not seem like a lot, but it actually is. It's a lot of space up here. And it's 84 inches long, so it's hugely long. So you're able to kind of just stretch out and put your arms and everything everywhere. But we've taken this down to, I want to say 19 degrees while camping. And on average, at nighttime temperatures, when we're both in here, it's usually 10 degrees warmer inside here. And the reason why I know that is because, you know, I use an indoor-outdoor thermometer. I have a unit hanging in here, I got a unit hanging outside, and it really tells us how we're doing, how our sleep systems work in the weather that we are in. And of course, got a little lantern here, and then it's got, you know, just little pockets, you know, for our little gadgets and phones and things like that. A lot of ventilation all the way around. Rooftop tents are nice. I know all in all, road life may not necessarily be for everyone, but Janelle and I have really come to love this kind of lifestyle. You know, uprooting our lives and like ending like long time careers to do something completely different. But we love this kind of lifestyle. We love waking up into different places and meeting amazing people from all over the country, all while living very, very nomadic. You want to talk about minimalism? You have to do without a lot. And we've learned to really embrace that and just love every minute of it. So if you have any questions for me about the car, about the setup, about any of the gadgets, or about just our daily lives, leave those questions, comments down in the comment area below. I'd love to read what you have to ask me or what you have to say. But in the meantime, get outside, find your own adventure. Enjoy this big, beautiful world. We certainly are. And yeah, we'll see you on the next one. I appreciate you stopping by.